And we welcome you live from Darlington Raceway in Darlington, South Carolina, where tonight the drivers of the Total Nonstop Racing League head to battle at the track Too Tough to Tame for the Darlington 170. It's time to go racing. Dawson Allen in the booth as always. Joining me tonight will be Traber Burns. Traber, coming into tonight, it has been a good season thus far, but we head to one of the big challenges of the season, Darlington Raceway. What are you looking for tonight for these drivers to try to navigate this tricky track?
Darlington, it's the track Too Tough to Tame. Gonna be looking out for how much grip you have, mostly coming off of the quarter. The trucks are really light in the back end, and Darlington is a track that tends to get really loose in the rear end. There's not a lot of grip coming off of these quarters, so it's going to be interesting to see how well these drivers handle it. Darlington's also a track where driver skill can really play a good part in it. It is narrow, but with that difference in driver skill, you can make some passes, so it'd be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about just making the right moves to get yourself in a position to go out there and win the race. Quickly, let me fix that so that we can get our ticker going, because for some reason it's not going to fire up. But we'll get you going here. We'll show you who's running where. Maybe not. Interesting. Anyways, right now as it stands, Tristan Maher is the fastest truck on track right now. There's that 17 truck. Really quickly going to see if we can get this fixed. But there's a 17. You saw him get involved in an accident there in the turn. A lot of guys piling in there in turn 2. And that's going to be something we're going to see tonight. We're going to pull up the JCTV replay graphic and see if we can't get this fixed really quickly for you. We're not showing you a replay. We're just seeing why this is not showing up. There it is. Now it's showing up. It's doing stuff, and I don't know what it's doing. So we're going to work on this really quickly. It would not be a JCTV broadcast without any technical issues. I'm just going to tell you right now.
Yeah, we've been on a roll with those lately.
Oh, absolutely. We've been rolling with them. So we're going to do that. You can't see anything. It's a magic trick. There we go. Now we are cooking with grease.
I prefer gas.
That works too. It's more fun this way. It's more fun with the struggle, getting everything working. Race name. Yes, this is race name, obviously. So we'll get that punched in. Of course, a lot of fun things I have to do before the broadcast. This is the fun part. We get to go behind the scenes during some of these practice sessions to tell you how this works. So we have, for our broadcast package, we use a program, software called ATVO. It is a fantastic software for any kind of broadcasting stuff in iRacing, any overlays. It's very, very phenomenal. And it's got a built-in timing screen that's also really good to use as well if you ever need any of that kind of stuff. So there's a plug there. And of course, C2 Graphics, as always, shout out to Cam for all the work he puts into our graphics packages that we have on JCTV. If it were not for him, our broadcast would not look as good as they do. So there's your plug, saluting Cameron Caldwell. But the thing is, there's so much that has to be done, because in this file that we have now, Everything is baked into one. What it used to be, we used to have, each league had their own file that had to be opened and used. Now it's all in one, and it's just a little drop-down menu that changes it. So obviously right now we're on Total Nonstop Racing. I could change it to the AmsOil Truck Series. I could change it to what was going to be the Fastlane Cup Series. Just a default JCTV theme, and you see the colors change, everything changes. It is a fantastic job by C2 Graphics to make this graphics package. I love it a lot. It is amazing work that he puts in to allow us to give you all a good broadcast at watch. And it's just fantastic. However, what it used to be, it used to show the track name by itself up top in that little split right there underneath the Total Nonstop Racing JCTV logo. That's changed. You now have to type it in manually what the race name is, and if you forget it, it just stays as race name, and it's very entertaining. There's your JCTV update from how ATVO works and how we show you our scoring. So I hope you enjoyed that little history lesson and a little behind-the-scenes lesson. But right now, let's talk about what's going on track, what's actually important. Tristan Maher is fastest right now in practice. It's Michael Kruger that's second fastest, who was our winner at, I believe, Dover just a few weeks ago. Last week's winner was Bronson Stafford, if I am remembering correctly. Last week I was very out of it. Shane Theriot, excuse me, was the winner last week. That was my pick to win with Shane Theriot at Michigan. Michael Kruger was a winner earlier this season at Dover. Shane Theriot currently is not in the session, so he is not going to have a chance to go for his third win on the season. Right now, our only two winners that are not Shane Theriot, William Edwards is in the session sixth fastest, and Michael Kruger second fastest. So there's that for you. Tom Bourne third fastest, and there's Michael Kruger clobbering the 15 truck there. A terrible accident, obviously, there on the back straightaway. Brett Bennett, fourth fastest, and Luke Mahone, the 15 truck there, was fifth fastest. A lot of chaos, a lot of carnage in practice, but that's expected with a track like Darlington. You know, it's a lot of tight racing, and it's very much a razor-thin line when it comes to the line you have to run, Traber. I don't know how often you've run Darlington, but do you know, just how much of a variance it is, like, with running this truck and how it is at this racetrack?
I haven't run Darlington that much, but I can certainly tell you that if I've run Cup a few times here, and if the Cup car is loose, the trucks are also pretty dang loose.
Yeah, it's a loose feeling, and you see, we're going to follow along with Brett Bennett and show you how a lap is made at this racetrack if he can do it successfully. Oh, sliding, but he saves it. It's weird how you want to do it. You almost want to diamond turns 1 and 2 in a way. You want to kind of clip the bottom on entry, wash up just a little bit, and then ride a middle groove right there in the corner, and then get a very, very, very sharp cut to the left to get that exit, to get that straightaway speed. That's what you want to do. And you see him, Brett, enter the corner like that. We're going to go on board on the nose of this truck. There you go. There's your onboard with Brett Bennett. You'll see right there. You just wash right up on the wall if you're not careful. It's such a razor-thin line that you have to run at this racetrack to run fast and to be able to contend, and to be able to not lose it. It is such a thin line that you have. It's a tightrope act at this racetrack with how it is because of the shape of the track. For anybody who doesn't know for some reason how Darlington is shaped, it is, of course, that oblong shape where turns 1 and 2 are way wider than turns 3 and 4. It was done like that back when the track was built because of a minnow pond that the owner was refusing to sell off or do anything to change. So the track has now got this really weird shape, and that's what makes it so challenging. It's two very different corners you have to approach.
Yeah, some of the best tracks in real life ever have always come with little weird things like that, niche little things that kind of give it character. Darlington's definitely one of those tracks. You notice when you're coming up to turn 2 there, the higher you can get in that middle groove, the better, but you also don't want to be getting your right sides on that seam. Even though this track is so narrow, but at the same time, you still got to watch those seams because that'll really get your truck loose going through there. 3 and 4, you have a little more freedom to move around a bit, but definitely 1 and 2, you were on a razor-thin edge in the middle of that corner. The higher you can get, the better exit you can get, but the more likely you are to get that truck loose.
Yeah, and if you may see a giant apron, it looks like on the bottom, but that's not really racetrack. That's just down there. Tristan Maher is going to top your practice charts here. Excuse me. He's going to top the practice leaderboard as we get ready to qualify for tonight's Darlington 170. Looks like one of our first drivers getting ready to roll off of pit lane is going to be the 41 of Michael Kruger, winner at Dover earlier this season, just a couple weeks ago. He is looking to get his second win on the season and looking to build up a pedigree in this league that he should be contending for a championship. We've seen it, of course, on Saturday nights in the AmsOil Truck Series. Runner-up in Season 3 for the championship. He is definitely a guy to keep an eye on in these trucks. He's very, very good at what he does.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of championship, you mentioned Shane Terrian not in the session. You know who else is not in the session? Bronson Stafford. He was going to be my pick tonight, but looks like we're going to be missing him as well.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make some picks from some other drivers that we were gonna be picking from. I was gonna choose Shane Therian to maybe go for 3 in a row, but I think I've got a good pick locked up here once we get qualifying completed. But we've got Michael Kruger making his way on the exit of turn 4 to take the white flag. His second lap time. His first time is gonna be a 29.094. That is his first go about it here in qualifying, and of course, it's not the AmsOil Truck Series. It is, we mentioned, total non-stop racing. But that's one of the perks that comes with this file, is the fact that we get things like that. So we're going to see if we can fix this really quick as Michael Kruger makes his way around for his second lap time. Might have brushed the wall there, so he's not going to get a lap time if that was the case. It looks like actually, no, he did get it down, and it was slightly faster, a 29.038, currently the fastest lap time on the racetrack right now. And we'll go to Bill Edwards, who's currently working his way around the racetrack. All right, and
currently we got the 15 of Luke Mahone on pole.
That should be a good enough fix for now. So there's your total loss of racing. But Tristan Maher just took the pole as we were in the middle of all that, getting this graphic fixed for you. Bill Edwards goes 7th fastest. Brett Bennett 4th fastest right now. Edwards is on his second timed lap. Mike Tellier 5th fastest, also on his second timed lap now. And Philip Scott jumping up to 4th fastest, so it's bouncing back and forth. A lot of these guys are starting to get some fast laps in to see if they can't go for the pole that is set by Tristan Maher at a blazing fast 28.875. Bill Edwards going to round it off of turn 4. He's going to hit the start-finish line this time. It's going to be a 29.054, officially 6th fastest for the 5 truck. Go back to another driver that was pretty high in the practice charts here. Tom Bourne in the 16. Going to keep our eyes on him and see how he does in qualifying. At number 16, Reaper Toyota Tundra. Going to make his way out on his warm-up lap to get ready to try and qualify on the pole here if he can. He's got to beat a 28.875 set by Tristan Maher if he can do it.
Also got Jason Gracias on track. He's had quite a bit of speed, but just hasn't been able to pull one together so far this season.
Yeah, and you mentioned Jason Gracias. The thing about him, he is the only driver in the field that has a win in this league at this track. So, that is at least racing tonight, I should say. So, keep your eye on Jason Gracias as this race goes on. We see 28.966 is the lap time for Tom Bourne. That's good to put him second fastest. On his first lap, his second lap, he's looking to get the money lap, see if he can't put it faster. Oh, he's going to get the wall on the exit of 2. It's not going to be enough. So Tom Bourne is going to fall just 1 spot short. We pan back to Jason Gracias making his way down the back straightaway. Can he go for the pole?
He hit the wall there. He's really up high and just brushed the wall there in 3 and 4.
Brushes the wall in 3 and 4, so that lap time is not going to count. 5th fastest for Jason Gracias as it stands. 26 seconds to go in qualifying. So we've pretty much got our field set to go. So now that we have qualifying done, and we look through the starting grid, I got to ask you, Traber, who do you have your eyes on to win this race tonight?
Well, I just mentioned him, Jason Gracias. He's had the speed to win all year or all season so far in these 5 races, I believe we're in, and just hasn't been able to close it. So I'll be looking to see him go to victory lane tonight.
I'm looking at the guy who is currently starting in the 8th spot. That's Bill Edwards. A runner-up finish to Jason Gracias. I think he's going to have a chance to come out here tonight and go for the win. I think we're going to see this man right here, Bill Edwards, go out there and win it. So those are our picks to win for tonight's race. Race analysis, very brief. It's 125 laps, mostly cloudy skies. And, of course, we're racing at Darlington. We'll take a look now at your starting lineup. Presented by, well, nobody. It's Tristan Maher starting on the pole with Tom Bourne to his outside. And row number 2 is going to be the 99 of Philip Scott and the 15 of Luke Mahone. Row 3 sees Jason Gracias and Michael Kruger. In row 4, we find Brett Bennett and Bill Edwards. And running at top 10, it's going to be Mike Tellier and Chris Nenow.
Inside of row 6, we got the 13 tow Mater truck of James Lorello. He had a couple spins in qualifying there. 64 of Vinny Valvano is on his outside. 72, Jonathan Gaston starts 13th. Jason Schue will be on his outside in 14th. Bob Giaquinto, 15th. Amir Bascombe in 16th. Neither Bob or Amir qualified, and neither will the rest of these guys here. P17, you got Garrett Gleason. Robert Tripp starts 18th, and rounding out the field is the 00 of Johnny Williams.
We got 19 trucks ready to do battle for 125 laps at Darlington. Who is going to win this battle? It's Valentine's Day coming up on Wednesday, so I guess the statement would be, who's going to take the lady in black out to dinner after this one? With the checkered flag in hand. So it's all coming down to it here as the time is starting to get closer. Looks like we're getting ready to start rolling on the grid. See Tristan Maher, Tom Bourne, that front row, right at the start-finish line behind that Ford Mustang pace car, starting to roll here at Darlington, ready to get racing. 19 trucks on the grid, we mentioned. It actually looks like it's going to be only 18. Garrett Gleason had mentioned he was going to start in park this race. I do believe that means entirely just not even going out on the grid. So it looks like we are not going to have the 7 truck out on the racetrack. So 18 is your number for tonight's race. I mentioned 125 laps of racing at Darlington. There are no stage cautions, no anything like that. It's just flat out racing here in the Total Nonstop Racing League. And we mentioned, Jason Gracias being a former winner at this racetrack. I do believe he is the only driver in this field that we have seen win on JCTV at Darlington. So he's the only one here with experience of winning this racetrack on this page. Looks like we got an extra lap of pacing. The lights came on the pace car, so we're going to go another lap.
I guess we had a little incident in the back that's what caused us to delay the green here. Oh yeah, it looks like, wow. Amir Bascombe just kind of, I'm not really sure, just ran into the back of Jason Schue there.
Quickly see if we can look back and see what happened. Doesn't look like we have it. Or actually, we might have had it, and I just had the wrong camera angle, but that's okay. We'll try to get a look at that at some point, maybe not, if anything. They're still rolling, we're still good. So we'll just have to buckle down and see what happens. So an extra lap of pacing. We just wanted you to wait around an extra couple seconds. It'll give you a little more time to buckle in, strap down, and get ready to watch some racing here at Darlington. Pace car is going to take... that hard left turn down pit lane. The field is in the hands of Tristan Maher as they make their way through turn 4. The green flag is about to fly, and we are racing at the track Too Tough to Tame. The Darlington 170 is underway. Side by side, they go to the line for the lead. It's going to be Tristan Maher leading lap 1, but Tom Bourne wants to go to the point.
Bourne always slides up, makes contact with Maher. Light contact, no harm, no foul there. Maher's going to tuck in behind.
Trying to cross him over. He tried to cross him over, but quickly Tom Bourne takes the race lead away from Tristan Maher. Now going back to his inside here through 3 and 4. The thing about this track, you want to get as many spots as you can, as quick as you can. Bourne quickly snatching that race lead away from Maher. He's going to hold on. Now the 16 truck leads the field.
Used to see at Darlington in the old NASCAR days, guys just trying to get single file as quick as possible. That's not really how anyone races anymore. You are looking to find track position early.
Clean air is king. You want to be able to be the one that leads this field as they make their way around this track. You don't want to be stuck behind somebody as this race goes on. But you see Maher going to have to settle in for second for now as the field make their way down the front stretch into turn 1 yet again.
Looks like Maher just trying to fall in line here. Save a bit of tire. Long race ahead, 125 laps. A lot of mistakes could happen from here to the finish here.
Something else you're going to see, too, some guys sliding around. In the background there, you saw Michael Kruger off the exit of turn 4. All but sideways off the exit of the corner. Able to gather it back up and fall back in line in 5th. So no harm, no foul for that one. But it's going to be something to watch all night long. A lot of these guys, when they come off that corner, come off of 2 and come off of 4, they're going to be sideways, fighting with this truck. It's going to be something to monitor tire wear as well. So keep tabs on that as this race goes on. We go green 5 laps so far. Bourne leading, but Maher still right there in his tire tracks.
Yeah, and 3 and 4, looking at the top 6, it looks like Michael Kruger is the only guy just right in that white line on the bottom there. Interested to see if that's saving some tire for him. As I say that, our leader's down there as well.
Yeah, pretty much everybody has gotten single file and just following the guy ahead of you, not really doing too much crazy stuff. We got a battle, looks like, for 10th. Chris Nina to the outside of Mike Tellier.
Yeah, Mike Tellier looks like he either just let him go or is just content to lift early and not drive it too hard right now, early in the race.
And it looks like he's driving a special scheme. It's a Hello Kitty scheme. I'm sure there's more to it than just running a Hello Kitty scheme, but that's something we'll have to figure out here throughout this race from Mike Tellier himself. But the Hello Kitty 97 Toyota Tundra currently runs 13th, fading back a couple spots from that drop of the green flag. He started in 9th, now back to 13th. Probably, like you said, by design, though, to get back out back.
Yeah, Hello Kitty scheme reminds me of Adelie Fong in the Macau Grand Prix, if anyone watched that. It was a fan favorite for the GT3 field there last year.
Looks like we got a battle brewing for the 3rd spot now, as it is Luke Mahone leading Philip Scott for that spot, but at 99 is hounding the tailgate of Mahone.
10 laps in. Sun seems to be going down. Cloud cover or track temperatures going to be cooling down more and more. Track should grip up even more and more.
Even then, the tire wear at this racetrack, it is tremendous. There's a lot of tire fall off as this race goes on. Looks like we got a driver dropping back a couple spots. In the wall, actually, is the 72 of Jonathan Gaston. I noticed he was kind of slower a little bit, but I didn't, then I saw the battle for positions. Spots lost. He was running 12th at the time. We're going to see really quickly if we can look back and see what happens entering into turn 1 for the 72 of Jonathan Gaston. Up ahead of 3 trucks there, that is Mike Tellier, Vinny Valvano, and Amir Bascombe. Just behind him, looks like Tellier peeks the nose inside. Gaston goes high and, hits the wall.
He's due here. Now we got battle for third. Philip Scott is no longer content riding around behind Luke Mahone. Ooh, close racing there in 3 and 4.
Side by side they go. Scott tried to send it into the bottom. Gets a little bit of contact maybe with the 15 of Luke Mahone. Able to keep from being anything else. And he falls back into 4th. Chasing down the 15. Trying to get to 3rd.
That's really your best passing opportunity, is getting a run off of turn 2 and being able to slide it underneath and kind of slide jobbing the guy you're trying to pass there. Probably the most likely way to get around someone here at Darlington.
Yeah, but what he's been doing here is allowed now the 41 of Michael Kruger to catch up. We got another slow truck, at least on the track right now. It looks like Mike Tellier might have had a dust up with the wall. He is dropped back to 14th now. 2 spots to Vinny Valvano and Amir Bascombe. He drops back in that 97 truck, but we look and see it's about to be a 4-truck battle now, too, as here comes Jason Gracias in the picture. We're about to have 4 trucks in this one picture here. See Gracias' point of view. Actually, Philip Scott's going to get the wall in turn 3. Michael Kruger going to see if he can capitalize here.
Patience is such a hard thing to come by, but you have to have it here in Darlington. Philip Scott probably thinks he's faster than Luke Mahone, but he just can't get around him, and just pushing that little extra, really easy to grab the wall.
And this track is the same as Dover in that regard, and where the wall feels like it's reaching out to pull you in. We saw it, a couple weeks ago with that, the Monster Mile, and now we're seeing it here tonight. The track Too Tough to Tame, the lady in black, she's pulling you in. She wants you to come to her, and it's just going to pull your truck in. And we see it a lot, especially on the exit of turn 2. This wall kind of juts out right here, and it feels like you're going to wash right up into it. This battle is for 3rd. Here comes Philip Scott again to the inside.
Can't quite get it. That's going to allow Michael Kruger with a chance to get around him here, coming off turn 4, and he will get to the inside. Just barely there, though. Will he stay with it? Yes, he will. He takes the spot. Philip Scott lets off going into the corner. That's going to allow Jason Gracias to get underneath him as well.
Side by side, a tricky spot of the track to do it, but they make it work. Jason Gracias moves to 5th. I think Philip Scott might have let him go there instead of trying to fight it. Didn't want to be put in the wall, so he lets the one go. So that moves him back to 6th, and that now is allowing Brett Bennett to close in and try to make a move.
Yeah, you mentioned Dover earlier. The difference between the 2 tracks, though, is with Dover, you're usually running the bottom and quite a few lanes away from the wall as you're washing up onto the exit, and it just kind of sneaks up on you. With Darlington, you're right on it, and when you're so close to the wall all the time, it can just kind of desensitize you to how close you are to it, and you just kind of just wash up into it without really realizing it sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. Battle for 3rd is still in the works. Mahone is leading Michael Kruger now, who is closing the gap slowly but surely. That 41 truck trying to make up an extra spot here 20 laps into this run.
And we also got Brett Bennett on the back of Philip Scott now.
Yeah,
wonder if that 99 might be carrying a bit of damage.
It could be damage, or it could be just the fact that he is struggling. Johnny Williams on the apron looks like coming to pit road. That 00 truck has seen the wall a couple times, it looks like. And, you know, him right here is a good showing as well. That pit road entry is no joke either. It is going to be tricky to these guys getting down to pit lane. You see Brett Bennett's going to get the wall, actually. We cut back to Brett Bennett, and he puts it in the wall. That's a typical Brett Bennett move. Luke Mahone might have got the wall. He fades down. Here comes Michael Kruger going for third.
Yeah, he did get the wall. Oh, he got real close to it coming off of turn 2 there. Just got loose, went down to that bottom, but he still holds on to the spot for now.
I noticed, too, that last time by, a issue for Maher. He was half a second slower that last lap around. He might have caught the wall as well. He's still slow. Don't see any damage, but he is definitely slower than he was the past couple laps. Not sure what happened to the 17 truck. Still in second, but still a half second off of race leader Tom Bourne now.
Yeah, I'm looking at his laps. Oh yeah, he did get the wall a little bit in 1 and 2 there, as he washed up, or as he went up high. Yeah, he hit it pretty decent. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's damage to it.
This battle for third still ongoing. You see a battle for seventh in the background. Brett Bennett over Bill Edwards. It's pretty much been the top 10 right here in this kind of sort of group of 7 seconds. And then another 3 seconds back would be 11th on back. Johnny Williams on pit lane, currently 3 laps down in 18th. You see the side-by-side battle happening, though, up here. Michael Kruger to the inside of Tristan Maher now. Side-by-side, they're going to go into turn 3.
That's Luke Mahone right there in front of him. He's got little side by side. Oh, Michael Kruger's slide up. I think they may have had a little bit of netcode contact there. Side by side, neck and neck going in. Luke keeps his foot in it on the outside. Oh, they're so close.
How they haven't wrecked it yet is beyond me. Mahone might have got the wall. It looked like Kruger had to back out. Now Jason Gracias is on the back bumper. And Philip Scott's back in the picture too.
And Brett Bennett's licking his chops as well. Not quite there yet, but if they keep battling like this, he certainly will be. Michael Kruger's been exiting off of turn 2 much lower. That's allowing him to get that run going into 3. Can he clear Luke? If you're Luke Mahone, this is the part where you have to consider, is it worth fighting for? Because if you keep battling like this, it's just a bigger chance that, you know, Kruger makes a mistake, slides up into you, puts you in the wall.
Or even, you know, it could be a him mistake, it could be a Kruger mistake, it could be a Mahone mistake. They could put him on the wall, but they're still side by side, leaning on each other. Kruger trying to get ahead of Luke Mahone all over the door of the 15. Here comes Gracias to the inside now.
Luke Mahone keeping it on the outside there with still about 98 laps to go. Yeah. Hard racing for so long to go in this race.
You mentioned about Luke Mahone, about, you know, wanting to back out if something happens. Michael Kruger needs to be thinking the same thing. It's still way early in the race. If you couldn't get him at the very first go for it, lay off a little bit, take your time. You know, obviously it seems like Kruger has the faster truck. It's just he can't quite get around Mahone. I think Kruger needs to just take a reset here, kind of lay back a little bit, just ride around a little more, or maybe not do that, sliding in the corner. Woo, Michael Kruger.
I could hear the Tokyo Drift music playing in the background there. That was a heck of a slide. He held that for about half the quarter there. Great save. One thing you have to consider, though, is with Darlington, it's been known to get some long green flag runs, and I'm not saying we will, but I mean, it's not impossible to see a race go green to the end, so Kruger is going to want to get by Luke Mahone. I can understand his frustration, his aggressiveness right now.
And even if it's not right now, I mean, there's still plenty of time to try to get by him, you know, in green flag pit stops and everything like that. And if we get a caution, work on it then. But, you know, he was aggressive driving, which we know Michael Kruger for. But he was able to keep it clean for the most part, too, which is the best part about it. He can drive aggressively. He can be pushing the issue, you know, push that envelope as close as he can to folding. But yet he's still got the truck going straight. No issues for Mahone either. They're still both racing 3rd and 4th. So, you know, hats off, you know, for that kind of racing. Especially this early on in the race. It gives us something to talk about.
Yeah, and I mentioned that Brett Bennett was licking his chops. Not only is he caught up to the back of this, Bill Edwards has also caught up to the back of this train.
Hey, just about 6 trucks under a blanket here at Darlington. But Kruger's at a spot where he can try to go for it again. Closing back up on the back bumper of Luke Mahone. Fading off this time. Here comes Jason Gracias, maybe thinking about making a move here for 4th.
Yeah, so far Jason's been patient behind this battle, but I think he might be looking for Kruger to create a hole, and maybe he can follow him through right now.
Truck on the apron there, that is the 3 of Jason Schue. He's been having issues this race. Still slow on the apron. You see that damage to the 3 truck. And back in the background, pulling off pit lane, is Robert Tripp. Going back up here, it looks like we about lost somebody. That was Jason Gracias who blinked out there in the background. You see that's allowed Brett Bennett making a move here now on Philip Scott. That is for 6th. Bennett's going to get it. Now here comes Bill Edwards as well, trying to push the issue as well. He's going to take that spot. That's going to allow James Lorello to make a move as well.
Yeah, Philip Scott got the wall there on the outside as Brett Bennett was going by in turn 1 there. Allowed Bill Edwards to get through. And that's exactly what I was talking about, where Michael Kruger creating a hole for Jason Gracias on Luke Mahone. That's definitely a possibility. But it looks like Gracias is kind of falling off them a little bit.
You see Kruger ducking back to the inside. Slides it a little bit there. Gets it back straight. But he is pushing, pushing, pushing. Looks like we have our first driver out of the race as well. Now Johnny Williams, the 00, calling it a night. 18th place for that truck. Just 36 laps into this race. And we have a pit stop underway. The 9 of Amir Bascombe coming down pit lane. As we take it back up front, this is Tom Bourne, your race leader. And the reason we're not really showing you Tom Bourne is because you see that gap he's got out to the lead. 4.8 seconds. Almost a 5-second lead for the race leader as we see Philip Scott coming onto pit road this time. So one of the first of the top 10. We take it to pit lane. Tom Bourne is putting on a clinic right now. Almost a 5-second lead over Tristan Marr. Actually, might have just got the wall right there on the exit at turn 4.
Looking like, if this is the pit window, looking like we're going to see a 3-stop race. If we keep going green like this, that could be 3 green flag pit stops, and that could be a lot of mistakes. A lot of chances for mistakes coming down pit road with this the way this pit road entry is designed. If you're Luke Mahone, the worst thing you want to do is pit while you have Michael Kruger behind you, because that's just a tough thing to do. You either have to get way out of the way or, you know, just leave him a lane and hope Kruger can either pit with him or, you know, go around him.
Yep, Christina from 10th place comes down pit lane, and we're going to see if we can find an angle to show you that pit entrance. As you see Michael Kruger trying to get to the outside of Mahone. Mahone trying to block him. Michael Kruger right at the wall. Oh, Mahone gets the back bumper. He gets the nose from Kruger. They touch again. Mahone on the apron. Tried to get in front of Gracias. Couldn't do it. Kruger finally takes third. Mahone now having to fend off Gracias for fourth. Can't imagine anybody happy with that, the way that turned out there.
No, neither of those drivers are going to be happy. That was some hard racing for about 20 laps there. If you're Gracias at this point, you might just want to be thinking about undercutting Luke Mahone here in the pits, because he has been aggressive in his defense so far.
Trying to see if I can get a shot of pit entry that works the best to show you just how it is. That might be it right there, so you can kind of see it right there. The best way to show you right here is this yellow line right there on the screen.
And Luke Mahomes coming to pit road, as well as Kruger and Maher.
Well, this will be a good view right here. These guys coming to pit road whenever they come. But you'll see right here, pit lane is right here. You have to hook that line right there to make it onto pit lane. And Tom Bourne is one that goes to pit lane. You see the rest of the field behind him. Maher, Kruger, and Luke Mahone all on pit road. That leaves Jason Gracias to lead the field. And expects to more this time by, though. Looks like Brett Bennett's angling for that bottom lane. You see how aggressive he's going to be. He's going to send it down on the bottom. Trying to get to Gracias. Look at the aggression out of Brett Bennett coming to pit lane.
Great job by Brett Bennett getting to pit lane there. That was he pulled up a lot of time on Gracias there. You just see how much time you can gain on pit road. That's a perfect shot of it right there.
Something else you can see about gain. Philip Scott right now up to 8th. He's got Tristan Maher coming off of pit road just up ahead of him right here. Not up to speed yet. So Scott goes by Maher. That is currently for second of those that have come off of pit lane so far. Tom Bourne, however, is well out and away. And he is going to quickly get by Gaston Lorello, Tellier, Edwards, Bennett, and Gracias to take the race lead. And you'll see how that leaderboard scatters around quickly.
Yep, Philip Scott, you can see that he pitted about 5 laps earlier than the guys who just pit. So, I mean, that's the undercut right there. That shows you how much fresh tires are worth.
And very quickly you're going to see, though, the fresh tires are worth it until they wear out. And then once they wear out, they wear out. Maher trying to get to the inside of Philip Scott for second now. Scott going to go to the outside and let him go. So Philip Scott, 5 laps, older tires, currently sits third. Michael Kruger is in 4th. Behind him is Amir Bascom, who's in 5th. Luke Mahone, 6th. Chris Nenow is 7th. And it's Jason Gracias, Bill Edwards, and James Lorello. That is the top 10 as they run right now.
Yeah, Amir Bascom, one of those guys who pitted early as well. He's able to make his way up to 5th. In fact, he pitted about 9 laps ago. So, yeah, about 6-7 laps before the rest of these guys did.
Well, they made it through the first set of green flag stops without any issue. There's still plenty of racing to go here tonight. It's Tom Bourne still leading this field as they make their way around the track. Too tough to tame. 46 laps in so far. We're going to go on a quick JCTV side-by-side break. Do not go anywhere. You don't want to miss any of the action on JCTV Nonstop.
Hey man, you cut me off back there. What you gonna do about it? Oh man. Can you feel it? The taste of Coca-Cola. When the race Alright, fine. Are we good? We're good.
As a Grand Prix world champion in triathletes, I know how important it is to stretch before any competition.
I also know it's important to stretch. Mobil 1's advanced technology lubricates our engines.
Yes, that is true.
And my joints.
Oh my word.
Soda cookies. Want one, Jensen?
Dad, where'd you get that?
Oh, you won't believe what just happened.
Don't tell me you got the last Diet Dew.
Yeah.
I love the taste of Diet Dew. What do you want for it? Deal.
Diet Mountain Dew. Yeah, it tastes that good.
Hey, Hotshot. Meter's running.
So what do you got in that loader, Tony?
Just did my mail run, Chase. 3,100 pounds of letters from the best fans on earth.
You have this many fans.
Yes.
You sure some of this isn't hate mail?
Nope. All fan mail.
This one's about weight loss.
That's not mine.
It has your name on it.
I'm a popular guy.
It says VIP membership renewal.
Not cool to read other people's mail, kid.
This isn't fan mail.
Mahindra, the official tractor of Tough and Stewart Haas Racing.
Kyle Busch, welcome to Menards. What can I help you with today?
Well, I've got my shopping list right here. I need some green treated lumber. I need a brown Mastercraft door. I need red Clearview cabinets and some blue Dutch Boy paint.
Those are M&Ms.
And?
At Menards, we carry the world's best selection of home improvement products to help you complete your next project.
You've got more of these, right?
It's all gonna fit in your car?
I got a trunk.
Save big money at Menards.
You're not gonna fit. Maybe you should just get a ride with Kevin. Unbelievable.
So, Ginny, what makes you an awesome different driver?
Well, there's a lot to it. Man, it's a rush. So what makes home selling with OfferPad awesome different?
Oh, so much. But with OfferPad, it's a lot more home selling stuff and a lot less bumping into people.
I don't bump into anyone.
Home selling with OfferPad is awesome different. Request your free cash offer today at OfferPad.com.
Well, they're letting fans design cars again.
Aliens. I know they're out there. So with Toyota's help, I designed a car to welcome them with open arms.
Cool car. I was abducted once.
Oh, you're back.
Will they make contact? I don't know, but I want to believe.
What will you design? Enter for a chance to win at Sponsorfire.com.
Thank you.
You saw it in JCTV nonstop. Luke Mahone got to the back bumper of Michael Kruger, hit him in the middle of 3 and 4, and sends the 41 into the outside wall. He recovered. He's back in 4th, but damage to the 41 truck here in the running of the Darlington 170 here for Total Nonstop Racing. Man, oh man, Traber, you and I were both watching that entire nonstop, and you and I both said the same thing. We know what's coming next.
Yeah, we can all see it coming from a mile away. I mean, it's lap 57. I still say that's a little uncalled for, but driver's going to be aggressive, temper's going to flare. It's the lady in black, and she's cooking up some beef tonight.
We'll take a look at your JCTV replay to show you what happened. Mahone was catching, excuse me. That's going to go on out of context JCTV. Right here, the 15 has a chance right on the back bumper, just drives it right in, parting on the left rear, and sends Michael Kruger up into the outside wall. On board Michael Kruger here. But man, what a save it was by Michael Kruger to keep that from being worse than it was. You see here the 9 truck, Amir Bascom, trying to hang on to it ahead of Brett Bennett. That's for 10th right now, but Bennett's going to quickly go by.
Amir Bascom, one of those guys who pitted about 5 laps earlier than everyone else there, so starting to see those tires degrading a little earlier than everyone else. Mike Tellier on the back of him now.
Yeah, Mike Tellier coming up for 11th now to the inside of the 9 truck, and he will get it. Let's move Mike Tellier up to the 11th spot.
So, meanwhile, in that pit cycle, Tristan Maher, the gap was around 5.5 seconds, I believe. And Tristan Maher has now closed it down to about 2 seconds. But Tom Bourne is still very much in control of this race right now.
Yeah, it's still Tom Bourne's race. It's his race to lose, just about.
And I don't know if you're hearing the Jaws theme playing or not yet, but Kruger is catching back up to Mahone here.
Oh, he is reeling him in. Yeah, you're not wrong. This is going to be another thing to keep monitoring is Kruger catching Mahone again. And last time Kruger raced him, respectfully but also aggressively, and they made that contact, and Mahone pays back Michael Kruger, and I don't think Mikey's going to let it slide after that one. I think Mikey might rough him up a little more here. You see quickly catching the 15 here of Luke Mahone.
I mean, Luke would be smart to let him go right here, but seeing how aggressive he's been defending his position so far tonight, I don't think that's going to happen.
And I'm not too sure Mikey's going to want to get by him as clean as possible. He might get a little aggressive, might send it in on him, might do a lot to pressure him into making a mistake even too. We're not sure how Kruger's going to drive. I've seen Kruger drive before, but I've never been in this scenario watching him drive ticked off. That's never been a thing I've seen yet. So we'll see what Michael Kruger decides to do on the back bumper of the 15. Looking Chris Nina, looks like he is pulling to pit lane that time by. Quickly, we check that. We go back to this battle here for the 3rd spot. You see Kruger backed off that time. Very easily had a run to the back bumper. Not going to use him up. Wants to get by him cleanly, it looks like. But Kruger's going to have some trouble doing so. On board Michael Kruger here.
He's had the opportunity to give him the bumper, but so far been showing some patience.
He's right there on him.
Well, he is going to use the bumper on the straight there, send him into the corner a bit. Luke's able to adjust.
And trying to send him in a little hotter than he wants to, it looks like. Gonna get right to the inside. Here comes Michael Kruger.
That's been his MO tonight, getting the run off of turn 2. Gonna go into turn 3. Luke looks to have... Oh, no, Kruger has the run on the outside. He gains a bit of time, or on the inside. He gains a bit of time there. Coming off the corner, they're gonna bang wheels a bit.
Oh, they touch again! Mahone comes down towards Kruger. Still to the inside is Michael Kruger. Still side by side through 1 and 2. Neither one wants to give up this spot.
That's a fantastic show. I hope they can keep it clean.
Mahone is doing everything he can to block Michael Kruger and keep him at bay.
There he goes. He'll get this run off of turn 2 again.
Mahone's going to block it.
Oh!
Kruger's going to go high. Mahone trying to block it again. Side by side again, they go through 3 and 4. Mahone keeps trying to block it. Kruger has to save it. I think he's going to end up lighting this fuse and knock it out of the park here. Kruger is not going to be happy with this. Driving into Mahone. Side by side they go again. Kruger doors Mahone. Can Kruger clear this time? He's got the edge now out front. Mahone's still on the outside. He slides. Kruger and him make contact. Can they save it? They do. Kruger's going to slide in front of Mahone. They door again. You think they're battling for the lead on the last lap? This is for third on lap 70.
I'm speechless right now.
This is incredible. I mean, this race right here, this might as well be the battle for the win. The way they're racing. Mahone to the wall. Luke Mahone gets the wall. Kruger trying to get the run. Mahone looks like he might have blocked Kruger again. Kruger trying to go low. Mahone trying to hold him off. Back to the inside again they go. Kruger trying to get the run on Mahone. Peeks the nose inside. He pitches him. Yeah. Around they go. Caution's gonna fly! Something had to give, and that's exactly what it was gonna be. Michael Kruger and Luke Mahone go for a slide.
Well, unfortunately for Michael Kruger, if that was intentional, it didn't work. Luke Mahone's still able to keep that spot, but I mean... You can only block a guy so many times.
I don't know if that was intentional. I think that was a case of Mahone trying to block late, and they just make contact because of it.
Yeah, Mahone was definitely pinching him in 3 and 4 every time Kruger got on that inside.
On board with Michael Kruger. You'll see right here. So the same almost every time. Mahone kind of cuts down right here. And then right there, it almost sounds like they got netcode contact there, which, considering how close they were racing each other for the longest time, it's kind of shocking.
Yeah, that was odd.
See, right there.
Netcode contact, and the front end of Kruger just, the truck rotated as Mahone came down there. And Kruger went to correct the slide, and then they made contact that spun both of them around.
So everybody is going to come down pit lane. No shocker there. We got to reopen scoring to get this timing screen fixed. Had some issues showing up in timing and scoring. But Tom Bourne on pit lane, as is Tristan Maher. Philip Scott, the whole field pretty much came down pit lane. No shock in that one. Quickly, service will be done. Maher and Bourne race off pit road. I think Tristan Maher just won that race off pit road.
Yes, sir.
Take a look at the rest of the field coming off of pit lane, but it's Tristan Maher who will take the top spot.
Yeah, that #1 pit box served him well. Just gas it and go. No limit watching needed there.
Tom Bourne out second. Philip Scott, we talked about that strategy he had with his pit stops. How great of a call was it for him to pit that earlier than the rest of the field? Because now he sits third on equal tires now with the rest of the field instead of being on older tires.
Yeah, and I think he has a little bit more speed than what we've seen. He might have picked up a bit of damage early in that race with slapping the wall a bit. I believe he's got it fixed and should be good to go.
I think a lot of it, too, was that early on run, wanting to just kind of keep it clean, not push too hard. And that's what we kind of saw him doing. He was managing his stuff. He wasn't driving too hard. He was letting people go because he didn't want to be, caught up in anything. And, here we are now. He has made his way to third. So Philip Scott looking to make a run at it here. Of course, 1, 2, 3 on the track right now. They started 1, 2, 3. Bill Edwards is currently fourth. James Lorello got out fifth. Then it was Jason Gracias, Mike Tellier, Michael Kruger, Vinny Valvano, and Brett Bennett. Luke Mahone will be starting in 11th. That one will make it to JCTV out of context. And then Bob Giaquinto is currently 12th. He is the last truck on the lead lap. First truck 1 lap down is Chris Nenow in 13th. He had just pit not too long ago to get tires and fuel for his scheduled stop, so that ended up costing him. Jonathan Gaston currently scored in 14th a lap down. Then it's Robert Tripp, 2 laps down, as well as Jason Schue is 2 laps down. Amir Bascombe and Johnny Williams out of this race, 17th and 18th. That is your field rundown here in this race. We are well over halfway. I believe we've got just 50 laps to go this time by, so should be one final stop after this, I do believe.
Brett Bennett's back in pit road. Looks like making some more repairs. Or he might be topping off.
He topped off on fuel. A 4.3 second stop on pit lane for Brett Bennett. Just topping off on fuel. I think somebody is going to be doing something crazy, and that somebody is Brett Bennett trying to save and stretch this out to be the last stop he makes if he can. I'm not sure if he can, but if he can, we got somebody that's going to try something crazy. Well, the field is going around. You go ahead, Traber.
I hate to bring the Jaws theme again and take the battle from the lead away, but Luke Mahone's right behind Michael Kruger on this restart.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch this whole field as they make their way towards the Geico restart zone. It's Tristan Maher leading the field from the outside. The green flag is out. Back underway here at Darlington. And how big of a jump Tristan Maher will get over the rest of the field as they make their way.
Lorello tried to slide up in front of Kruger there. Couldn't quite make it happen. Put Kruger in the wall. And then he blocked him again on turn 3 and 4.
Lorello now in front of Luke Mahone, who's now behind Michael Kruger. You mentioned the Jaws theme. Dun dun. Here it is. Mahone right on that left rear of Kruger again. But so far, it looks like they're playing nice. Up front, though, Tristan Maher is now out to a 0.3 of a second lead over Tom Bourne. Oh, Luke Mahone pancakes the wall on the exit of 4 there. And Jason Gracias takes 4th from Philip Scott. And now here comes James Lorello.
Yep, Scott's going to be under pressure from Lorello and Kruger. Kruger's going to take that spot as well. Nice work.
And Kruger thinking about trying to get underneath the 13. He's got an opening. He's thinking about it for sure. Kruger wants to keep climbing back forward after that spin with Mahone. I think Brett Benham might have just got the wall in the background, slower in the back in that 47 truck. We go back up front. Tom Bourne, who's dominated this race, took the lead on lap 2 and hadn't looked back since. Lost it on pit road to Tristan Maher, and now he's looking to take back this race lead.
Kruger's going to get a good run off of turn 4 here. Going to go to the inside of Lorello. It's a tough place to make that pass work when you're not fully alongside, and he's going to have to back off.
Dropping back for now, still in 6th place. A good run going, trying to work his way back to the front. And talk about another good run going. Bill Edwards on the plus side again, up from 8th on the starting grid. He's up to 3rd, and hey, may I remind you, that's my pick to win right there. So keep your eyes on if anything happens between Maher and Bourne. Bill Edwards is right there to capitalize.
Yeah, Gracias, another one of those looking to capitalize right behind Edwards there. Just gonna sneak my pick in there just for a second.
Right now, Tom Bourne running a bit of a higher line, 3 and 4 than Maher's running, trying to get a better run if he can. Last time by, faster lap went to Tom Bourne.
Oh, look, Mahone got in the wall. He's going to spin it off of turn 2. He saves it. What a save.
Quickly take a look at the replay. Oh, you were not kidding when you said a slide.
I mean, I said he spins it because I thought it was fully spinned for sure, but great save by him.
Fought that wheel and got it back going straight. Excellent save by Luke Mahone.
By the way, kids, it is spun, not spin. Don't listen to me.
Looking right back here, battle is for 4th. Jason Gracias, James Lorello, Michael Kruger, all nose to tail to tail. Lorello trying to get inside of Gracias if he can. Still right there on the tailgate of the 1 truck.
Lorello kind of running in the middle there. Not sure if that was intentional or not down the straight, but it's not the first time he's been running middle of the track on the straight in front of Kruger.
These 3 lined up here, 4th, 5th, and 6th, and not too far behind is 7th place Philip Scott in the 99. Ooh, Mike Tellier in the background had a moment off of turn 2. Gathered it back up, losing the spot to Vinny Valvano in the 64 truck. We get back up to this battle here. Still tight between Kruger and Lorello. Gracias not pulling away either.
Out of everyone who's been in front of Michael Kruger tonight, Lorello so far looks like he's been able to match his exits off the corners with Kruger there.
It looks like he might be getting to the inside of the 13 truck. Indeed he is.
Just barely. He lets him go.
Lorello gives him the spot to move Michael Kruger up to 5th. Now looking to track down Jason Gracias for his next position and moving back up the leaderboard.
Philip Scott looking to go to the inside of Lorello here going into 3.
Yeah, as they battle for 6th. Tom Bourne is still not fading away from this battle for the lead.
Scott tried to get on that below that dotted white line there on the. It's not quite the flat, but it's certainly flatter than the banking. In an open setup, you could definitely make that work, but unfortunately, with the fixed setups we have, doesn't. Not exactly the fastest way around.
Tristan Maher. You know, we talk about guys that have won on JCTV. This is one of them, Tristan Maher. He had a 3-win season in Season 4 of the AmsOil Truck Series. You know, and then this season, the AmsOil Truck Series has been a season to forget pretty much for him in that 17 truck. But he is looking to start rolling here on Monday nights as he gets out to a half a second lead over Tom Bourne. Coming down to the end of this race, 91 laps in the books. We got a battle for 6. Looks like James Lorello actually is coming down pit road. I think he's coming down because the window's open.
Yes, it is open to get to the end here. It'd be a long run for him, but it's certainly open. If we get cautioned with about 10 to go, he might still be in the lead there. If these guys stay out, go a little longer, we'll find out. Excuse me, not in the lead, in position where he was there in 5th. Could be in the lead. Who the hell knows?
Yeah, 5th place is Michael Kruger. And Michael Kruger is all over 4th place, his back bumper. That being Jason Gracias. Here comes Kruger in the 41 machine trying to fight back up to the front. He was running about 3rd when he and Mahone spun. He's been able to recover. Mahone had issues of his own, is back in 9th.
Well, Kruger's sideways.
Ooh.
Man, he got that right rear on the seat there in turn 4, and that just pitched it sideways, and he held on to that, kept that car pitched, and didn't lose much time from it.
And they're both catching the 5 of Bill Edwards here, right on the back bumper. He's Jason Gracias, so now this battle for 4th has turned into a battle for 3rd. And very quickly, too, Tristan Maher has now gapped Tom Bourne by over a second.
Gracias going to look to the inside here of Edwards.
And Kruger's still right there on the back bumper of the 1. Gets a better exit off of turn 4. Going to go to the inside of Gracias. Now the battle for 4th between Kruger and Gracias. Kruger can't quite get there. Going to have to get back in line.
Hey, Kruger's just so comfortable having that rear end out. That's his key to getting these great exits off the corners here.
Well, I'm going to show you something. I don't know if you have ever... Tom Bourne, speaking of which, actually really quick, on pit lane now, so 2nd place. Pulls it down to pit road, but I want to show you something here really quick. You know, you talk about how he likes it loose. Watch this wheel input from Michael Kruger. Do you see how often he is swinging it back and forth? I mean, it is absurd to watch this man wheel a truck or a car or anything because his wheel is constantly moving. It is never stationary. It moves and it's twitching back and forth, twitching back and forth, twitching back and forth. It is such an unorthodox way of driving that I have never seen before, but man, does he make it work. It's unreal. He made the pass on Jason Gracias. We had some drivers coming out pit lane. Tristan Maher, our race leader, and Philip Scott have both pit, leaving Bill Edwards to lead the field with Michael Kruger now slotting into 2nd right behind him. Kruger diving down low. Him and Gracias and Bill Edwards all coming to pit road. All 3 different
Kruger.
lines. Kruger trying to get by Gracias. Couldn't do it. Here comes Bill Edwards coming in hot. Just missing the barrels. And that leaves 1 truck get to pit.
Gracias able to win that race onto pit road there. Great job by the 1 in the 41 there getting onto pit road. Bill Edwards looked like he might have committed a little late when he saw the 2 trucks behind him. And that just kind of cost him coming in.
So right now, 3 drivers have yet to pit. Mike Tellier, Luke Mahone, and Brett Bennett. We mentioned what we think Brett Bennett is doing is trying to save enough fuel to make it to the end of this race. See if we can
Kruger's
listen in.
going to win the race off in front of Gracias there. Gracias got a ton of wheel spin coming out of his pit box.
Try to listen in. Luke Mahone is slow on the front stretch. I think he missed pit lane. Oh, he got turned by Tom Bourne. Still slow on the racetrack is Luke Mahone. He's got race leader Mike Tellier approaching quickly.
Yeah, and Luke was pretty considerably slower than our second place man there. And yeah, I think Tom Bourne was seeing him slow and Luke kind of being on that bottom. I think he was expecting to just have Luke give him that high side, and Luke kind of tracked out.
So Tristan Maher's going to go by. They're not yet go by Mike Tellier. Looks like Mike Tellier down on that bottom. Going to let him go there. Now Tom Bourne fast approaching second place of the cycle. Luke Mahone third place just up ahead. This will be a battle for third for Maher. This is positions for Maher and Tom Bourne. And Maher's going to take it from Luke Mahone. And now Tom Bourne going to catch back up with the truck that he ran the back of. And oh! Turned into the outside wall! Luke Mahone! Dumped by Tom Bourne! His night is going to be over. The caution's going to fly. And just like that, I hear screaming from Brett Bennett because he was on a really good run there to try and stretch fuel. Almost ran in to the 15 of Luke Mahone, who finally tows it.
I mean, I don't know what to say. Tom Bourne just straight up ran him over there. I mean, Luke's all the way down below that dotted white line, and my goodness.
Luke Mahone and the horrible, terrible, no good, very bad race. If I do say so myself, we're going to take a look at your JCTV replay and show you what happens here. So he got out of the way. I mean, he was racing in the line at first, but right here you'll see him let Maher go. You know, around the corner. He'll stay up high as Maher goes by. And then right here, he ducks down kind of on that white line. And still, Tom Bourne gets in the back of him, and the second time finishes the job on Luke Mahone. Actually on board with Tom Bourne. Heavy damage to the 16 truck.
Alright, I am speechless right now. I don't know what to say after that. I mean...
I have no clue what to say. I mean, it's possible if Bourne was upset with him from the couple laps prior when, you know, Mahone had that incident where they dusted up with each other. That could be it, but we see pit stops happening. Maher going to pull in ahead of Tom Bourne. Brett Bennett already served a pit stop, so he is going to cycle up to second. Mike Tellier as well. He's already pit, so they will get to the race lead.
I mean, if what you said is the case with Tom Bourne, rule number 1 of stock car racing, learn how to wreck someone without wrecking yourself.
But of course, there's no guarantee that's what it was. Obviously, we can only say so much based on what we see from the booth. That's my humble hypothesis. But looking down, I just now opened chat for the first time. I see Johnny Williams is watching here. Our 18th place finisher said he's not feeling too well. He might be going through the same thing that I was going through last week. So, Johnny, get better, buddy. We want to see you Double Zero truck out racing instead of parking it from the rest of the race. We want to see you out here running. So, right now, under 20 laps to go when we get the green flag. And there's going to be two different drivers in the front of the field. Mike Tellier and Brett Bennett are going to be out front. Then it stands to Tristan Maher is first off pit lane in third. Philip Scott is fourth. Tom Bourne is currently still getting damage repaired on pit lane, but because of how many cars were lapped down and have to take the wave around, Michael Kruger currently is scored at sixth. He is another wave around driver. It looks like Tom Bourne finally rolling off pit lane after getting damage repaired. So we're going to see a lot of guys take a wave around here. And they go double file. Mike Tellier to the bottom. That gives Brett Bennett the outside lane. Looks like Chris Nenow is a lap down, going to be on the outside there. But the way the field was, pretty much, Tom Bourne got involved in that accident with Luke Mahone before he could unlap himself. So he wasn't able to catch up. Tristan Maher got the lucky dog, I believe. So he is able to get back up in contention with the field. Or at least the 2 trucks that are a part of the lead lap field. Right now, as it stands, we're going to have 10 trucks on the lead lap.
Tell you what, this is not a front row that I was expecting tonight.
No, and honestly, the way I saw everything playing out, I do think, quite honestly, if that stayed green the rest of the way, I think Brett Bennett might have had a good chance to save enough fuel and make it to the end, but gets that pit stop on the same set of tires as the rest of the field, just now has the track position. Pace car is off. It's Mike Tellier leading the field to the Geico restart zone. The green flag is out. Back racing at Darlington. Just under 20 laps to go. And quickly, Maher to the inside of Bennett for second. And Bennett concedes the spot to Maher for now.
Yeah, Maher kind of jumped up towards the middle there, gave Brett Bennett no choice but to back out of the throttle. How about Chris Nenow? He's a lap down, but he's going to go to the outside of Bennett.
Oh, Tellier trying to block. Here comes Tristan Maher. Tellier slides up. Maher goes low. Side by side for the lead on turn 2. Bennett lost third to Philip Scott. Tellier sends it in. Maher going to have to try to make a run at it again. No, Tellier! Oh my goodness! What a bobble out of the 97 and what a save! Side by side into one. Maher trying to get out in front. Tellier trying to stay with him. Maher now clear for the race lead.
And that causes a stack up behind 29 in the wall there. That's Nenow. Gets over. Oh, he gets into the back of Tom Bourne there.
Oh, Bennett gets the outside wall. Tom Bourne on his back bumper now. 15 to go. Maher out front. Tellier in second. Philip Scott, Brett Bennett, Tom Bourne. That's your top 5.
Michael Kruger back there at 6. He's going to have a lot of work to do if he wants to get up to Maher.
$13 laps to go. Tristan Maher had a battle, in the wall in the background behind him. He had to battle up to the front, had to battle back, at least, from getting passed by Tom Bourne on the opening lap of the race. Got the lead on a pit stop after the caution with Mahone and Kruger. Late restart. Gets by Mike Tellier. Clear sailing ahead with 12 laps to go. Can he hang on and pick up his first win of 2024? Brett Bennett got the wall again on the exit of turn 2. And you just see that time on the side continue to grow. Now 7/10 a second is the gap over second place Mike Tellier. 10 laps to go.
Kruger on the back bumper of Bourne there. He gave him a bump going into the corner and then backed off. Bourne's able to get a 2-truck length gap there.
He's definitely working for it now. Philip Scott going for second on Mike Tellier, and he's going to get it. Move Philip Scott up to second.
You know, Maher hasn't exactly run away either. He is still, I would say, within distance of the 99 there. It's got a decent gap, but it's about a second.
Yeah, second gap. Still pretty big to have with coming to 8 laps to go. Here's a fun fact for you, too. Watching this field, you know, just kind of looking through some stats in the league. If things hold steady here, and this is how we finish, this will be Philip Scott's 100th top 10 in total nonstop racing competition. So that's a pretty cool stat for you there. As we look through the rest of the field, we mentioned Mike Tellier running in third. Ooh. Maybe just got the wall as Brett Bennett now on the attack, as well as Tom Bourne and Michael Kruger. Oh, Bennett trying to slide up in front of Bourne. Bourne to the inside of Bennett. Just 7 laps to go at Darlington. Bennett trying to block Bourne.
Bourne had to get out of the gas. That's going to allow Kruger to get on the back bumper of him. Can he get a run off the corner? Not quite. Yeah, Tellier got I don't know if he got the wall or not, but he certainly got loose, and Brett Bennett was already on the inside when Tellier got loose and started shooting towards the bottom there. That was close. As Kruger's going to go to the inside of Bourne. Bourne blocks a bit.
Holy Mother of Mary Christ and Joseph! That was a battle! That was a save! Kruger of the wall! Whew! That was a moment on the front stretch. I looked up and saw the 16 and the 41 both heading for the inside wall. Now just 5 laps to go. Tristan Maher, a comfortable 1.7 second lead.
Philip Scott with a comfortable gap in second to Tellier there. Well as Bennett back there in fourth. Oh, Tellier got really loose. I'm not sure if he got the wall or not. That's going to allow Bennett to close in.
Ooh, try to get underneath. Tellier went to block. Brett goes high.
Yeah, Tellier definitely got the wall there in the middle of 3 and 4.
Battle still going for third.
Behind them, we still have that 3-4-way battle for 5th place there.
It's Tom Bourne, Michael Kruger, Jason Gracias, and Bill Edwards a little bit further back in the picture. But it's 2 laps to go, this time by. Battle is on for 6. Gracias in the wall. Gracias gets the wall, battling for 6. Brett Bennett on the back bumper of Mike Tellier. And you just hear Maher practically begging for it to stay green for this last little bit as he makes his way to the white flag. 1 more lap for Tristan Maher. It's been since 2022 that Tristan Maher found victory lane here in the Total Nonstop Racing League all the way back in October at Las Vegas. But tonight, he'll break that winless spell. In the checkered flag, Tristan Maher wins at Darlington.
It was chaotic.
So chaotic I couldn't even say anything. I pulled a Rick Allen. That's what I get for trying to be, pulling up stats in the last lap.
In your defense, Rick Allen only has one job. You got multiple going on.
Maybe a little bit.
Philip Scott gonna push Maher there to the start-finish line. Well, he kept it clean. He was there when it mattered. It looked like for a while there, Tom Bourne had this race, but got some good pit stop, got ahead of him, and never looked back. Had a little luck involved there with the yellows, but...
How about Mike Tellier hanging on to that third spot? We'll take a look here at your finishing results while Tristan Maher continues to burn it down. Mentioned Tristan Maher over Philip Scott. Mentioned Mike Tellier hanging on to third over Brett Bennett. Tom Bourne rounding out the top 5. Michael Kruger back in 4th race, ends up 6th. Jason Gracias bringing it home 7th. Bill Edwards back in 8th. James Lorello was 9th. And Bob Giaquinto rounded out the top 10.
Chris Nino was looking to crack the top 10 there for a while, although he was a lap down. He was just noticed that, actually. Jonathan Gaston in 12th, Vinny Valvano 13th, Jason Schue had a few issues tonight in 14th, Robert Tripp comes home in 15th, Luke Mahone, no summary needed really, 16th. Amir Bascombe comes home in 17th, Johnny Williams in 18th, and Garrett Gleason, I don't believe, made a lap tonight, but he rounds out our field.
Yeah, did not make a lap, starting parked, but still going to get credit for some points in this race. So, it came down to it at the end. It was a strategy call. It was able to get... It was a strategy call that was able to get him up into that 3rd place spot at the end of it. But it was a good strategy call nonetheless. We'll see if we can get a hold of our 3rd place finisher here, Mike Tellier. Hey, Mike Tellier, this is the boys in the booth. You got a copy?
I do got a copy.
Alrighty, well, it's a 3rd place run. It was a bit of a different race for you in the sense that you had to pretty much find your way to the front in a different way. That late caution with the strategy kind of helped you out. What were you thinking as that run went on? And what was the goal there if it didn't get that caution and stayed green at the end?
Well, originally I had made a choice to just conserve, go 2 stops, try and go 42, 84, and then to the end. And then that random caution kind of threw a wrench in it with 50 to go. And so I heard my teammates talking about splitting it in half. And then everyone pit on like lap 96, 97, 98. And it wasn't even split in half. And I was like, I'm just going to turn a couple more laps and see what happens, just roll the dice type thing. Because I wasn't fast short run. I knew I would finish about top 10. It was like, let's try something stupid. Because might as well, no one else is. And literally I'm turning down to go on the pit road and a caution flew. And I'm like, this couldn't have happened any better. I don't even know what the caution was. So I guess I have a horseshoe shoved up there somewhere. And yeah, luck of the draw.
Well, the luck of the draw indeed. And I got to ask too, we made a comment about it earlier in the broadcast saying we were going to try to find out something about it. We get the chance to find out something about it. The Hello Kitty scheme tonight. What's the deal behind this one?
Well, originally it was, I mean, a Hello Kitty and me have been like an inside joke with me and my friends since, I don't know, it's almost 20 years now. But But originally, this was a knockoff of a Nissan GTR RC car, and then it was pink with the carbon fiber, and I was like, oh, this is awesome, and I'll just replicate it, and it just kind of went from there. And then I conveniently won in this paint scheme, and there was rumors of a Hello Kitty movie coming out, and so I've just kind of been running it on and off in every series and division that I can, hoping that one day this movie will show up. And it seems to bring me good luck. So, I mean, I'll probably be racing it more often.
Yeah, I was going to say, it seems to have been a good luck charm getting a third place tonight here. So, teammates, sponsors, shout-outs. What got that 97 up there at the end here?
Well, my big brain, apparently, for once. Sky Motorsports, the team. I mean, Garrett for helping out and getting me back racing with this new wheel. Apparently, it paid off. So, thanks to everyone who assisted with that. You guys know who you are. I don't want to mention names other than Garrett because he's the best. And I was asked to shout out Apple Chat. So shout out to Apple Chat, Schue, Silly, Russell, Dom, all those peoples. You're awesome. Sorry for forgetting your name. I hate these interviews. Don't hate me. North, I almost forgot you, buddy. I won't forget you.
Alrighty, that is your third place finisher in tonight's race, Mike Tellier. Mike, congrats on that third place run, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for running the broadcast tonight, too, by the way.
Absolutely. That is third place finisher, Mike Tellier. And I believe we will catch up to Traber Burns, who is going to have our second place finisher, that being Philip Scott.
Here with Philip Scott. Philip, you had quite a race tonight. Up in the top 10 all night, and one of the trucks to get the wave around before that final restarted 6th, I believe. Coming home second, how would you rate your night tonight?
Very good, considering how my season started. I had some bad luck, some of my own fault, and then some just getting involved in wrecks. But I knew that this is going to be a long season, and it's not over till it's over. 'Cause with the F1 style point standings, I knew that as long as I can just start stringing together some pretty good like top 5 finishes, then I could start clawing back the points. And thankfully, this was the first kind of week that kind of came into play. So I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, I saw a bit of banter in the Discord chat there. Did Garrett Gleason give you a little motivation tonight?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, a little bit. Because I did realize it's kind of a quiet start, and but I'm not really. It's funny. I'm a lot faster in like the Gen 4s than the trucks. I just don't quite have the handle on trucks. They're harder to drive for me. It just don't gel with my driving style, but I'm trying to practice, trying to get back up to the speed that I am in the other cars. And but yeah, like I said, long season, and I'm really looking forward to how the rest of it shakes out, especially the road courses. So yeah.
Yeah, also Dawson brought up, I believe this is your 100th top 10 in TNR. How would you say your career in TNR has gone so far?
That is awesome. I'm actually surprised I've had that many. I started doing iRacing like seriously about 3.5 years ago, and it took me a long time to learn how to like save tires and stuff, so I was always really bad at ovals. And then I started to do some road, and I had a lot more road, and then that kind of helped me with ovals somehow, and then I started to be able to save tires better, and then that eventually led to me winning the title last season, or 2 seasons ago. And so since then it's just been awesome to be able to run up front with everybody, and especially Tristan, though. Shout out to him, man. He wasn't he's been a busy guy, so I've always loved racing with him. We're both from about the same area, Michigan, and we always have great battles, and it's awesome to see him back up front.
All right, anyone you want to shout out? Who got that 99 truck to second place tonight?
Yeah, of course. Got to shout out my sponsor, big old shield on the front, World Ninja League. Check us out at worldninjaleague.org, the biggest Ninja Warrior obstacle course organization in the world. And check us out on YouTube. We got a cool race, head-to-head racing event this weekend, so we'll be live there.
All right, that's our second place finisher in the 99 truck, Philip Scott. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
And I believe you have our winner, Dawson.
Indeed, I do. Let's get him down here and talk to the man who finds victory lane for the first time in what feels like almost forever. Tristan Maher takes home the checkered flag here in Total Nonstop Racing. Tristan, first off, congrats on the win.
Thanks, guys.
Well, you started on the pole. It was a bit overcome at first. Tom Bourne got the jump on you, but the caution comes out and you get the win off pit road. What was that race like for you, though, as long green flag runs went on?
In the beginning of the race, it was pretty tough. Tom likes to race really hard, so this is definitely a track where if you get stuck behind a truck in a different truck's dirty air, then you're kind of screwed. There's just no way. Like, the truck has similar pace as you, and they're in front of you, and you're having to deal with dirty air. It's just like it's near impossible to get up and pass somebody, especially with, like we have a smaller fuel tank in the series, so the runs aren't quite as long, so it's hard to even save. But anyways, it was a tough race, honestly. In the beginning, I was getting frustrated with myself, kind of irritated, and ended up catching him a little bit after the pit stop. I know he was saving fuel, I think, but I caught him a little bit, and then I got to within probably just under 2 seconds, and then I started saving fuel, and then caution came out. I don't remember what that one was for, but I beat him off pit road there, and that was when I beat him off pit road there. I was like, this is it. I'm staying in front of him. I'm gonna race like an asshole. Oh, sorry, my bad. I probably shouldn't swear. I'm gonna aero block him. Anything I can do to keep him behind me. And that's what I did. So, well, it worked out. That after that run after the pit stop, all I did was, I kind of ran my line. Once he changed lines, I changed lines, and I was just being the most frustrating person to be behind. So, it worked out. Then there was another caution. Or actually, I think there was green flag stops after that. Did good on green flag stops, and then another one came out, and here we are.
Yeah, able to get the checkered flag, and I mentioned it too. It's your first win here since 2022 in the Total Nonstop Racing League. It has been a dry spell, but finally able to break it. What does that mean to you to finally break that dry spell and get to victory lane again?
It feels good to be back. I took a really long break from this series, mainly because my work schedule changed. So I wasn't really able to do Monday nights, but I'm able to do them a little bit more. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to race for points this season, but yeah, it feels good. I was I had a lot of momentum before I left in 2022, and then took a long hiatus, and here we are back in victory lane. So it feels good. I miss racing with all these guys.
Yeah, and you put on a good show nonetheless for us too. So it leaves just to roll out the red carpet. Sponsors, teammates, shoutouts. What got that 17 truck into victory lane tonight?
Shout out to JCTV, you guys up in the booth. I'm excited to go watch this one back. C2 graphics for the JCTV Chevy Silverado paint scheme, looking good. And then we got Garrett Gleason, Mike Tellier, all the admins that make this league go around. This league is a fantastic league, and it deeply saddened me that I had to take a break from it. but it feels good to be back. Like I said, I miss all these guys. These guys are good people. And then lastly, some teammates in voice chat. Brett Bennett being in voice chat, and then Jason Gracias, super helpful guys, and that's how I got here.
Well, alrighty, that is your race winner tonight in the Darlington 170, Tristan Maher. Congrats on the win, Tristan.
Thanks, guys.
Well, Traber, it was an exciting race here at Darlington. You know, it was everything you'd expect out of a Darlington race. A lot of bumping and banging, tempers flaring, and also a lot of Darlington stripes.
Yeah, for sure. It was we had some long green flag runs, which you'd expect. We had some real tempers flaring, as I said earlier. The lady in black was cooking some beef tonight, so yeah, it was quite exciting. It wasn't lacking in action, that's for sure.
And throughout all of the chaos, there were still about two drivers that really were able to reign supreme for the most part. Tristan Maher and Tom Bourne were the dominant trucks of the night, but Mike Tellier was able to get some laps led there near the end of it. So that will do it from us here at Darlington. But before we go, quickly, we get to show you what we got coming up for you here on JCTV. Of course, we ran Darlington tonight. Check that box off the list. Tomorrow night, Tuesday night racing. It's going to be a fun one. I'm excited for this. The Slide Job Racing League heads to Richmond. The Xfinity cars at that track, I think it's going to put on a heck of a show. Tempers flared a little bit tonight, but I think tomorrow night we're going to see it a lot more. So tune in for that one tomorrow night, 8:45 p.m. Eastern on JCTV. Friday night, the NAOR Series heads to the Daytona Road Course just after the AmsOil Truck Series leaves. In rolls the NAOR Series. We'll see how they are able to fare on the Daytona Road Course. That is this coming Friday night at 8:45 p.m. Eastern, also only on JCTV. And then this Saturday, the AmsOil trucks head to Fontana. Out to the West Coast they go for that big 2-mile racetrack. That should be a fun one to watch as well. 7:45 p.m. Eastern, Saturday night. It's going to be a lot of fun this upcoming week here on JCTV. A lot of fun racing, and you don't want to miss a thing. And then, of course, after the fact, we do have next week coming up, which for these guys here in Total Nonstop Racing League, their next date is going to be a fun one. Doubleheader at Daytona, a day race, a night race, and it's a part of the Tabletop Trios points events. Who can go out there and take claim to one of their Daytona wins? There's 2 races to run. It's going to be a lot of fun. You don't want to miss that one next week here on JCTV. We want to thank Traber Burns for joining me in the booth here tonight. Another fun race to put in the record books on JCTV. It was a fun, tough battle all night long, but at the end of the night, it's Tristan Maher taking home the checkered flag. Congrats to that 17 team on the win. And we want to thank you for tuning in as always. For Traber Burns, this is Dawson Allen signing off, saying so long and have a great rest of your night.